Good evening, good evening. Happy Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, every Tuesday is a special day for me because I get to sit here with all of you and share an hour of your time, sometimes maybe more, depending on how excited we are about our conversations. Tonight is a great night. It's always great when I'm able to link back up with the originals, as I call them, parts of my Shiro team. Tonight we have Jaclyn Rodriguez, one of my fearless leaders who sit beside me and just guide me through this whole process from day one. Jaclyn Rodriguez, if you don't know her in the community, you should know her. If you think of Herbalife, you think of Jackie. Lots of people do. If you don't know her, you'll get to know a lot about her tonight. She's a health coach, she's a mentor, she's a motivator, and beyond anything, she is somebody who is full of energy. So if you didn't know Jackie, you will know her this evening. So thank you, as per always, for watching, for being a part of our show, and just sharing this time with us, because it's always an intimate time with all of you guys. And I just love getting here and just being a part of your Tuesday nights with you. So thank you. As always, anyone who feels as though they're going through any part of domestic violence, whether it's verbal, emotional, physical, anything that you feel that you're endangered, or if you're living in a relationship or in a household where you feel you're being abused, make sure to reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Their number is 1-800-799-7233. That number is scrolling there at the bottom of the screen. You can also reach out at our website at www.loveshouldnothurt.com so that you can reach out to us. Hello, Rosanna. Good evening. You can send us an inbox. You can send us a message, anything so that you can have contact with us and we can help you out with whatever it is that you're dealing with tonight. So I want to bring Jaclyn on so that you guys can see this amazing lady. Jaclyn is sharing tonight with us self-care after abuse. So I'm going to bring Jackie on the screen so you guys can see my amazing Shiro counterpart. Hello there.
Hola! Hey guys. What's
Mira
up?
ese pelo de tierra.
You see this?
Hello.
I just watched it, guys. I just watched it. This is like wash and go.
Bueno.
So that's the secret.
Thank you, Chrissy and Megan, for being on. Welcome to tonight's show. Jackie, are you excited? Because I'm always excited when I'm on screen with you because nena, I'm loud, but you louder.
Let me tell you, so first and foremost, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
It's always an honor and a pleasure to be here. And don't spoil me. I can get used to this, you know. I'm like loving this, you know. I really, really am. So, no, honestly, I'm excited for tonight, and I'm excited to just continue to add value to what you've built, what we've built.
Thank you. Well, exactly. I'm glad you said that because I was going to correct you
I
to just
called myself.
yourself.
I
That's
called myself
right.
this time. Okay.
That's right. Welcome, Ray. Thanks for watching. You're always saying it when you get on the screen. And so is Zulma and everyone else. And they always say, what you've built, Christina, what you've built. But we built this together.
Let's
If
do it.
you guys would have said no, there would have been no documentary. So
Let's
we
do it.
did this together.
I
So
got it.
a little background on Jaclyn and myself. We go way back, like real Cadillacs. We have been friends since like the third grade. We went to elementary to school together, middle school, high school, and we have been rocking out since then. So this is tremendous for me. She says all the time that I'm her oldest friend. I think she's lying. She got other friends too that are older
No,
than me.
honestly, nobody stuck around this long, you know? And I'm okay with that, you know?
That's right.
Um, but yeah, it's definitely it was third grade. It was Catholic school. I'll never forget. Um, but yeah, you've been that friend that has been around the longest, so I'm excited.
I'm like a leech. I don't go away.
I'm excited to just continue to see what else God has up his sleeves, you know?
That's right, because he has been working some magic. So
Yeah.
our background is that we go back really far, but what we share in, and that's the reason why we're here tonight, is dealing with just a really troublesome time. We both went through this terrible time, and we both have come out of it. Clearly, we've succumbed to it at the time, and then we grew out of it. We're both phenomenal women at this point, and you know better than anyone how to live a healthy lifestyle because that's what you do. And I think that it's super important for women, especially women who have dealt with domestic violence or any form of violence, whether it's rape, it's emotional abuse, verbal, whatever
Right.
it is, anything that has kind of put a downplay on one's personality
Right.
and just, because a lot of times people say it, even to myself now, I say yes to everything, right? I don't say no to anything. And then they say, well, what about your self-care? You never worry about you. You don't take care of you. My daughter gets upset. Mom, you don't eat 3 meals a day. You eat like once and that's it. Self-care
Right.
is super important.
Mm.
Yeah. And I think that sometimes,
Oh,
if
yeah.
not all the time, um, food and bad eating takes a big toll on us, especially when we're going through that abuse, because
Future.
either women will stop eating because they're
Yeah.
depressed, or they'll eat too much, right? And
Yeah.
then what happens is they fall into this hole, they start to gain weight, or lose too much weight. And then when they leave that relationship, they just feel horrible.
Right.
So you deal with women on a daily basis who kind of just come to you for health and expert advice. And you've said before, even in the film, that you can tell when women have come to you and they've dealt with some abuse. So tell us a little bit about like your background, the type of women that you work with, and how you feel about self-care, especially after abuse.
Awesome. So, I started my journey, shortly after I ended that relationship. It was just something that I turned to. It was a way of healing for me. I found comfort. I found joy. I found relief in being able to do things and to push my bodies in my body in new ways. Right, Louis. Um, and so I actually began with running. You know that part of the story.
Mhm.
Started with Little Plug, Black Girls Run. Just decided that I was going to start my physical journey there, and I found myself running a mile in no time, challenging myself to run 2 and 3, and before you know it, right, we're doing 5Ks and things like that. Began like really implementing the nutrition piece after seeing some of my family members, using the Herbalife products. Let's face it, that is what I do. That's the main source. I mean, that's the main thing that I do. And so I decided to just give it a try. And honestly just got some amazing results, felt amazing, and then decided, hey, let me look at this as a business opportunity, because at the time, with finances and everything, again, I've just experienced a separation. I went from having two incomes to only having one. And so, obviously I was looking at other sources of income, other ways to earn money. And I remember just doing it initially as a way to again just implement another source of income or have another source of income into the household. But my life like really changed when I had, and maybe she'll watch this show and she knows who she is, I won't say her name, but I had a friend that started with the shakes as well. And she sat in my living room one day crying after losing about 30 something, 40 something pounds. And she's like, Jackie, because of you, I have intimacy in my marriage again. And then that's what was like for me. Wow, like I am helping, like it went off, like this light bulb went off in my head. I'm helping another woman feel better about herself, and it's making her marriage better. It's making her marriage stronger. So it was a no-brainer. I decided to like really get serious with the business opportunity, and what has come from that decision and what I've been able to build has been insane, guys. It was really just a decision for me to get healthy, for me to feel better, for me to obviously lose a couple of pounds, for me to have some more vitality, some more energy, for me to just do something different. And then just seeing how that like just it just sort of became a trickle effect, a trickle effect. Like people, I remember you being one of my first clients back then, right? And just seeing that and seeing what was possible with that. It just began as a hobby, and it's turned into a career. It's turned into my calling. It's turned into community. It's turned into relationships. It's turned into impact. And I'm so, 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 so proud of what one household, what I saw the word household, what one, minded decision to get healthy has become. And that's what it's become. It's really become a big, big, huge organization of just dope women, mostly women. Yes, we have some men, but you know, the girls show up, guys. The girls show up and they show you out. But yeah, that's what it's become, and I'll talk a little bit more later on about some of the services and some of the things that we do, some of which are free that will help, you know, you feel better and look better. Period.
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 I think that is a great intro to even highlight our upcoming event.
Yeah.
In 2013, I think that's the year it was, is when I started. Is that correct? Is when I
Yes.
started. I came to you. I wanted to try the Herbalife products. And I think that just sitting down that day, we actually just were going over why I wanted to lose weight, why I wanted to become more healthy. And then we started talking about our mutual abuse and things that we went through. And you had
Right.
started running.
Right.
And I tell this story all the time, and people were like, that's so funny. We talked about it, and then you said, there's a 5K coming up.
Mm.
It's a domestic violence 5K.
Yes.
We've both gone through it. I think you should do it.
You should do it.
And I had just started this health journey, after like years, my abuser, when I was with him, he got me into losing weight. I was constantly in the gym, but then it became abusive. I started to get super, super skinny, and he kind of just like downplayed me and talked to me and said I looked like a skeleton and I was
Wow.
too skinny, which was crazy because at the start of the relationship was you need to lose weight, you're big. And then
Right.
once he got me into working out, I lost quickly. I didn't have a
Right.
baby yet. My metabolism was different. I
Yeah.
lost so much weight that I was like a size 2 and 4. And he was like, you look like you're sick. You look disgusting. And like would constantly put me down. So we had those conversations. And then we talked about other types of abuse. And you were like, you should do it. And I was
Right.
like, oh,
I
homegirl,
remember.
I don't run.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. Tu ta loca.
Yeah.
Um, and you were like, listen, because, like I said in the last show that you were on, if anybody knows Jackie, they know she's very symbolic. Something always has meaning behind it.
Right.
And she said, if you run this run and you cross that finish line, that's like you're vindicating yourself from like all the abuse you went through. Come on, this is the
Yeah.
best 5K you can start with,
Right.
domestic violence.
Right.
And I thought you were crazy, but
Right.
I said, let's do it. And then when we crossed that finish line, it was like, I was crying,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, I can't believe that this symbolized so much for me.
Right.
At that moment when it happened, it was like, damn, she was right. Like I felt like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders. And I think that we don't think about health when we're going through these relationships because that's the last thing on our mind. We should be thinking about self-care, mentally,
Mm.
physically, everything. But because we've lost ourselves in the negativity that we're being fed and the bad things that are being said to us, we lose that. We
Right.
stop eating healthy. So while
Right.
we're in the context of talking of 5Ks, why
What?
not?
Right.
Quick shameless plug. As
Right.
you all know, if anyone was watching our past show, we announced that we are having a 5K. Marilyn put it up there. So she put it on the screen. Let's spread the word and register for the first 5K on October 25th. Register at www.loveshouldnothurt.com. Thank you, Marilyn, for posting that. I want everybody to know that we will be at, let's put that up there. I'm going to take
Yes.
Yes. So we are going to be there. Let's take that banner off your face so they can see it. We are going to have our first 5K, as you see right there. I don't know which way to point
Right
because
there.
I'm off. There you go, right there, right there, right there. Our first 5K on October 25th. We will be practicing social distancing. If you feel like you want to get out there, come join us. You can walk, you can jog, you can run.
You
Go to
can
our
crawl.
You can crawl, whatever you have to do to make it to the finish line. The first 50 people to sign up will receive our Love Should Not Hurt 5K medals. You will receive masks upon arrival. We will run at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and 3 p.m., and that is to avoid crowds.
Yeah.
Everyone will have to make sure that you keep your masks on, but we will have DJ Paulie, the Philly Rican in the house, playing music to keep people alive, and we will have MAB Photography who will be there with our photo booth. So it's going to be a fun time. You guys need to come out, join us. There's our flyer. You need to be there. Join us that day on October 25th. Because listen, if you're not there, then you're square, you know?
Right, you're not, there's no other place you should be. Like who does not come out to support a 5K, especially for something like this. And let me just add, because I know that there a lot of times there's confusion. We hear 5K. I remember you did this too. We
Hmm.
hear 5K and we think that it's 5 miles.
Right.
It's not. It is 3 miles. And I promise you that you are able to
Mhm.
walk, run, bike, jog 3 miles. And you'll get to meet me too, because I'll be there and some of the girls will be there too. So definitely make sure that you register. You do not want to be one of those people without a medal. You want the bling. We
I
all
know
want the
everybody
bling.
wants to bling at the end of the run.
Nobody wants the bling.
So
The
tell me why self-care was important for you after that abuse. Like, why was that so important for you? Like, I know we come out of those relationships and we just feel, we
yeah.
feel horrible, we feel run down. Why do you think the self-care was so important for you at the time?
It was for me my form of therapy per se, right? Without like having to like really get into like the whole therapy aspect. I went through 4 years of literally hearing things like, you're never going to be happy, different things, obviously, things about my body from time to time, he would say. Um, and I knew for those 4 years, I put myself on the back burner, right?
Right.
Like I just wasn't a priority. And let's face it, like, right, like I say it all the time, as women, as mothers,
Mhm.
as girlfriends, as daughters, as sisters, right? Like
Mhm.
sometimes we just make everything and everyone else a priority, and we don't focus on taking care of ourselves. So for me, it was just like really therapeutic. I had to start telling myself and showing myself and
Mhm.
proving to myself that I deserve to do certain things for myself, right? Whether it's, buy me something new, or like get my hair done, or like go for a manicure and say yes to that glass of wine when they asked me if I wanted that glass of wine, taking myself out to dinner, just like doing different things. And I know we'll touch on some of those things, or different ways that I consider, different things that I consider self care, but
Mhm.
it was my therapy. It was my therapy. It was me treating myself the way I knew I should have been treated, doing the things for myself that, maybe he didn't do at the time.
Yeah.
So it's just it was therapy. It was an escape. It's just self care is just so important. It's so necessary.
Right. I think well, let me just say it speaks a lot of you who you are because our comments are lighting up. And as I like to call them, your Herbalife Goon Squad is following.
That is my goon squad, all of them.
I think that it's super important to show that you've motivated. You said something during our documentary. You said that you had people throughout the years that you could tell um, who was dealing with abuse. The
Right.
women who would come and they would run and they would work out, whatever, and then they would fall back and say that they couldn't come any longer. And you knew that they were going through some form of abuse. How did you know? Were there signs you saw?
Oftentimes it's so obvious. I obviously don't like to assume. We don't want to do that. But the signs were definitely there. So oftentimes when you're in these relationships, and you know this, right? Like we know this, and you start to feel yourself, you're going out more than you used to, you're doing things for yourself, you're maybe putting on too much makeup, that because you're losing a couple of pounds and things like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, like automatically it's like a red flag for them. So they
Mhm.
start to say things like, they oftentimes, the abusers, right, start to say things like, "Oh, you think you're feeling yourself? Or what? You got a boyfriend? Where you going? Like and so many things." And so I've seen some of the women like start to sort of just like back off a little bit and, start to miss some of the classes, if they're in challenges, like start to like not perform the way that they may have performed in previous challenges, right? Obviously another way or another observation is maybe like their ordering patterns, right? Like they go from like, really committing themselves to these programs, and then all of a sudden, like they're not ordering. They haven't been ordering for a month or 2 months, but they were doing so good, and they were like consistently like losing weight. So a lot of the times the signs are there. I like to offer myself and offer a lending ear, because I never want to be the type of person that's like, girl, you need to leave them alone. Da, 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 da. I'm not doing any of that. But oftentimes it's really super, super, super obvious. I know how I showed up to the world when I was going through the abuse. And so therefore I know the signs to look for. Um, a lot of times I've had the courage to ask, and oftentimes they deny it. But then maybe later on down the line, they come out, they'll call me, or, they'll just have a moment where if we're by ourselves, they start to share some things with me. And it's happened a lot throughout my career with Herbalife.
Right.
A lot.
So mental health is a huge part of self-care.
Yeah.
Right? Because people think, all right, I lost so much weight, or oh my God, I gained so much weight in the relationship. I got to work out.
Right.
That I got to lose weight. I got to make myself feel better. I got to tone. But mental health is a huge part of self-care, because, you come out of these relationships and you think, okay, maybe let me work out. I'm working out a lot. I'm lifting, I'm losing weight. I'm getting tight. But mentally, you're still drained.
Right.
You lose all this weight, and you're trying to make yourself feel better, because I gained so much weight in this relationship because he made me feel like crap, so I didn't eat, or you go through the motions. But
Right.
mental health is huge in
Right.
self-care, because if you're unhappy, you could lose as much weight as you want to, and you could look as great as you want to, but if you don't believe that you look good, or you don't believe that you're an amazing person, none of that matters.
Right.
So a huge deal that I try to remind women is, if there's a huge stigma on therapy, right? So when you tell someone who comes out of these relationships, maybe you should seek therapy, they're like, I don't know, like, I'm not crazy.
Something's wrong. Nothing's wrong with me. Right.
Right. I'm cool. Like, I'll get over it, type of thing. But people should also be aware that, mental health, she said it, mental health matters. Your mental health is something that, during those times, you're hearing some truly, truly disheartening things about yourself, right? The things that they make you believe you are.
Right.
And those are things that's like baggage, like the suitcases we carry with us to every new relationship we go into. Mentally, we believe that we're fat, or that, like you said in the video, like we're not shit. We won't ever be shit,
Yeah.
So mental health is a huge, huge, huge deal. And I think that when people talk about self-care, especially when they come out of, these type of abusive relationships, you need to think about, how are you going to get your mind right?
Right.
How are you going to get back to that person that you used to be? How are you going to begin to love yourself again? And I think that there's a huge stigma on therapy. And I want people who are watching to know that therapy is not a bad thing.
Right.
I've gone through therapy. My daughter has gone through it. We've all had that moment where we've had to sit and say, listen, I need to get this off my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I speak to you, you're my friend. And when I speak to this person, they're my friend. But your friends are going to give you the biased input.
Yeah.
They're going to say, Nina, you're going to be fine. You strong, girl, you all that. You look good, but what you said didn't mean anything. But that's not therapeutic. That's just telling you what they think they want you to hear.
Yeah.
So if you go to a therapist and you seek help, it helps to get your mind right, because like they say, mind, body, and soul.
Right.
You got to get your mind right before you do anything, because if you don't, you leave that relationship to go into another one, and you start to begin to accept the same things in every relationship you go into, because you never got your mind right. You might have got the body right, but when you get into this new relationship, all the things that you heard from that other person that were about you, they were negative, you still believe.
Right.
I'm sorry. Okay. So I want, Nicole says, have to let it out. Holding in will hold you back from moving forward. Exactly. Gigi Rosario says, the physical ain't enough if the mental is not 100.
Right.
That is 110% true.
Yeah.
Because I can attest that after that relationship was over, I was thin. I lost the weight, but
Right,
I still didn't love who I was regardless. And people need to work on that. I say often that our 5-year goal is to have this safe haven, to have a call-in center where there's therapists, doctors, nurses, and people there who can offer that support, because sometimes you might be calling in and that's what you need. You need
right,
someone to tell you you are an amazing person, or no, what he said was not correct about you. You need that outside ear to listen and say, what happened to you was not okay. And these
right,
are the steps now that you need to take so that you can become a healthier you. Because even now, in the state that I'm in, doing so much, sometimes I lose myself in everything that I'm doing. If I don't write it on a calendar, I forget. And people are like, you didn't do this? I totally forgot because I have one, two, three, four, five things. Someone else calls me. Can you do this? Yes, I can do it. Can you do it? Yes, yes, yes. I say yes. I learn not to say no. And then I don't even worry about me. So then I come and I lay in my bed and I don't go to bed till 5 in the morning because I'm so mentally drained.
yeah,
I'm thinking about everything that I did or I forgot to do or I
right,
didn't do. So if the biggest thing anyone can take away from tonight is, remember that when you're in these relationships and once you get out, mind, body, and soul, you have to worry about your mind, your body, and your soul. Make sure your soul is right. Make sure that when you wake up in the morning, you take a deep breath and you're like, okay, I can get through today, and you pace yourself.
right.
Cynthia says, I think part of the abuse and finally leaving is what makes you. Definitely.
Ooh, ooh.
Um,
Listen, I can attest to that. I
so
can attest to that.
I want people to know, because people are watching and they're like, who's Jackie? Who's Jackie? Right. So we know that you run these two fabulous clubs, right? So another shameless plug. You run Red Carpet Nutrition, which is amazing. You opened it a couple years ago. I was there and so excited for you and to see how many people you're touching. It's crazy. Um, and now you guys have Fox Chase Nutrition. Is that the right name?
Yes,
Right.
that's
Which
right.
is awesome. So I want people that are watching, because there may be people watching out there who do not know, who need that extra push. So tell the people out there what type of services your clubs offer, what they can go there to receive. I mean, besides the drinks, you offer so many other things. And even just,
Right.
I see your girls, like, you inspire them. Women
Yeah.
who have gone through abuse, who have gone through anything, they follow you, and you girls are like tight as toast, for real. So
Thank
tell
you.
everybody what you guys have to offer.
They inspire me, Christina. They're really just amazing, amazing, amazing women. Again, we do service some men, so I have to get into the habit, stop get into the habit of like mentioning you guys as well. But Red Carpet Nutrition guys and Fox Chase Nutrition are what we consider, or what we call, nutrition clubs. In a nutrition club setting, what we do is we offer different um, protein goodies, and we offer different services to the community. A lot of the workouts, a lot of the services, a lot of the things that we do are free. Some obviously we have to pay for because we have to keep the lights on. But what you can expect is community. You can expect love. As I said, we do workouts. We offer protein shakes, energy drinks. We do protein waffles. We do protein balls. We do protein muffins. We do things like karaoke. We do game nights for our clients. We run promotions where we do different giveaways. We have challenges where there's an entry fee, and if you are the winner, you can earn a pot. The last challenge, we paid out $1,000 to three winners. So one person made $500, one person made 300, another person made 200. And that's basically just like different things. We do different things, and we have incentives that keep people engaged, keep people involved. But most importantly, we have fun. We have fun. We have a lot of fun, sometimes too much fun. Um, but people are working on themselves. We are working on ourselves day in and day out, not just physically. We do things like affirmations. Right now, in the challenge that we're in, we are listening to the Four Agreements and Relentless and the 12 Pillars. As Christina was saying, we offer things that help us also with our mental. So I like to say we are a vehicle for complete transformation, definitely helping people with their mind, body, and soul. I've invited my clients to church, and now some of them are part of the church that I attend. So there's tons of things and tons of options that we have to just help people get connected to community to begin their transformation, whatever level of transformation that may be. So that's what red carpet is. Fox Chase. Fox Chase is ran by Yaneli, which is my 21-year-old daughter. I like to tell everybody she's my sister. That's like the joke of the organization. They like your sister, but that she's not really my sister. She's my daughter, and she is the person that runs Fox Chase Nutrition. And obviously, we do have people that help us at the bar too. So we may not always be there, but you guys can. I can guarantee you that no matter who is behind the bar, you're always going to feel loved and welcomed when you go there.
That's awesome. I think that's a testament for you as well, because your daughter is now doing exactly what you are doing.
Yes.
She's following in your footsteps, and she's kicking butt just as much as you are. So I think that that's amazing for the both of you to just be a part of something that's so epic. You're touching
Right.
people's lives, whether it's women or men. um you bring people out, and they're there. Like, I see your pictures, I see your videos. People are always just like there representing, and when you say let's go, they go. They're there. Look at, you see all your people on here. We are a
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are lighting up the comment section, and that's awesome. I think
I
that
love them. I love them.
we all need people to motivate us, and you guys have definitely have been those people. And I think that it's great. I think that's a big reason why clearly I added you to this film and wanted you to be a part of this, because I know that you have that energy, you have that vibe, and especially with people who are going through something like that, they definitely need someone who's a motivator, who's energetic, who has that behind them, so that when they're feeling down and horrible, they have that person that's like, mira, let's go. I did it. You could do it. Get up. Because that's
Right.
what you were for me.
Yeah.
That's how you helped me through it at that time. Tita says, although my friend wasn't physically, I told her that mental emotional abuse is what stays with one longer. So yes, therapy is so helpful.
Mm.
Definitely. I think
Yeah.
there's way too many people who just truly just believe that when you speak of domestic violence, it's physical, physical,
Right.
physical. People don't realize the mental aspects. And that's where a lot of the weight loss journeys and things happen too with folks, because when you're in these relationships, either the men want you a perfect size or small, or you're too small, you're not good enough that way. And like, people take to I've seen people in these relationships take to working out too much, where they're hardly eating anything and they're only
Right.
working out, and then they're so thin and they're frail, and they're not doing it in a healthy way, because they're doing it because the relationship they're in, they want to make sure they lose the weight and they're skinny and they feel better about themselves, and
Yeah.
they don't feel better about themselves in the end.
Well, and one of the things that I've noticed, Christina, as a health coach, is oftentimes when they're in these relationships too, they also want them to be unhealthy.
Hmm.
Because if she's a certain size, or if she's if she's not, if she lacks confidence because of her how she looks physically, she's more likely to stick around longer because she's not, and then he'll say things like, or they'll say things like, nobody else is going to love you. Look at you, and we've seen it, we've heard it, I know it, um and I even had, at one point, I had one client say to me, he told me that I was getting too skinny, and he told me that he liked my size, and my response was, do you like your size? Do you like your size? Right?
Hmm.
Like, do you like how you feel? Are you content? If God forbid something was to happen in your relationship tomorrow, will you be okay with how you look and how your body looks?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's just tons of different ways. It just depends on who you're with, and the different levels of abuse
Yeah.
they're exposing
Definitely.
you to.
um I think that's important, and that's actually what next week's topic is. We're going to talk about recognizing mental and emotional and verbal abuse. Because I
Mm,
think that a lot of the shows that we focus on just the hitting, right? And
yeah,
there's so many people who are going through domestic violence right now, and they don't believe that they are, because
yeah,
they're like, he doesn't hit me, I'm cool, I'm good. And it's like, why are you still in this relationship?
right,
He belittles you, he makes you feel bad, he calls you names, calls you
right,
fat. Why are you? That's not abuse. That's just how he is.
right,
No, babe, that's abuse. You just
right,
don't see it.
right,
Vanessa Quevedo says, is the way the abuser can have you think that you can't do better.
right,
Definitely.
right.
Gigi says, that line, no one is going to love you, makes my skin crawl because I heard it too many times. So did I.
Mm,
I was told so many times during my relationship when I found out he was even cheating. Well, I come home to you. Play your part. At least, I'm here, Nobody else is with you. Play your
wow.
part.
Yeah,
So Wanda Lynette says mental abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. Yes, it is. And I believe sometimes worse.
right,
Because the bruises go away, but the mental thoughts that you have do not
right,
always go away.
right.
So give us a rundown of your exercises. What do you girls do? I know that there's something that's super excited that you're missing tonight.
Oh
Your
my God,
twerking
it's
Tuesday.
Twerk Tuesday. We're missing Twerk Tuesday. We have Tire Work Tuesday. We have Twerk Tuesday. Tomorrow we have Booty and Beauty. We have Ab Money, we call it. We have cardio drumming on Fridays, where you're basically like a rock star, a full blown rock star. We have walks. We have a Saturday walk. At RCN at Red Carpet Nutrition. We have a Sunday stroll at FCN, and we do a bridge walk. The bridge walk is also very popular. That's on Sundays. And we walk over the Tacony Palmyra Bridge since both of our nutrition clubs are in Northeast Philadelphia. We walk over the Tacony Palmyra Bridge and then back, which ends up being about 3 miles, like the equivalent of the 5K, like the 5K that you should be signing up for at loveshouldn'thurt.com because you want a medal,
It's
right?
running across the bottom of the screen.
If you've never had a medal before, RCN, listen up. If you've never done a 5K and have gotten a medal, this is your perfect opportunity, and I will be there to cheer you on and clap you in. So definitely make sure that yeah, but tons of other things and tons of different activities. Like I said earlier, we do karaoke, and then now we're going to implement game night because it's so much fun. Who doesn't like a good game night, board games, and different things like that? Um, we're having a Halloween party on the 30th, adults only. Best costume. We do tons of different things. You can also check us out at redcarpetnutrition.com.
Whippa, whippa, whippa. So I want to take a few of the comments because I see so many coming in. Wanda Lynette says, covered us a little bit, but we right there. I've
See?
seen, see, I've been through mental abuse, physical abuse, and verbal abuse. Unfortunately, twice, both times while I was pregnant with both my
Wow.
kids by both my baby's fathers. The first one worse than the second, but now I've grown so much I will never go through it again.
Wow.
So that's a
I'm glad you
testament
got
to
out.
who you are, Wanda. We're touche for getting out. You're just another shero. That's what I call us. I do not call us victims. All the women who are able to get out, I call sheroes. We
Yeah.
were able to get away from the craziness. So that's amazing. And I believe that from that you learned, which is a part
Yeah.
of the growing process and a part of that self-care, that you decide I'm leaving and I'll never deal with that type of abuse again, which is all
Right.
a part of self-care. Um, it's super important to make sure that our people know that we see them. So someone put a comment at the beginning and it was long and I was waiting till we got some time. I want to make sure I get to her. Rosanna said today hit so okay, I think we saw that. Oh no, I didn't. It says today this hit so hard after learning of a 26-year-old mother here in Philly whose life was taken away. Yeah,
Mm.
something that is just becoming too common.
Yeah.
It's becoming too common. We've have it's like we hear about it every other day now. Women's lives who are taken from them at the hands of the abuse. And I think that's why it's important for us to keep doing this show every week, to continue to push what love shouldn't hurt in every way that we can, putting outlets out there, putting faces on it so people know
Right.
there's people out here to help. If
Right.
you feel alone, we're here, we're here, we're here to help. We will find the resources if we cannot give you those resources, because it's super, super important for people to know that there is help. Jacqueline and myself have dealt with this form of abuse. I did it for 6 years and I did it alone because I didn't know that there was help. But the love that we're in now between one another and the support that we give one another,
Yeah,
we are here to offer all of you. And that's why
right,
it's important for me to have Jackie on a lot, because Jackie was someone who was one of my motivators. She pushed me to get through that first 5K. And it definitely, as corny and cliche as it sounds, I definitely felt vindicated when I crossed that finish
yeah,
line,
yeah,
because it was for domestic violence. And it was like, damn, this is finally something I'm doing to make me feel good about myself.
right.
After that, I was her client forever. I still have shakes in my in my
She
kitchen.
still has that chocolate shake. Is it still
Got
chocolate? Yeah.
chocolate and the mint one.
Oh, she's ventured out a little bit, guys.
Yeah,
No, but to go back to the 5K, not just us. Do you remember all of the women that were on the sideline, like
yeah,
also just sobbing and like, yeah, so that definitely was that level of experience for them. So yeah, if you haven't signed up, loveshouldn'thurt.com, sign up tonight.
that's right. The first 50 people are getting a 5K medal. Marilyn says self care is so important. We must take care of ourselves. Don't allow anyone to take your confidence from you.
Right,
That's major, because that's exactly what happens in these relationships. They want to take that self-confidence from you.
right,
So the bigger you get, the more you eat, that gives them more fuel, more power over you, for them
right,
to give things to throw at you. Oh, she got big. You fat,
right.
nobody wants you. That's where all of those statements come from. And that's all insecurities on their own part, honestly.
Basically, yep.
So, Jaclyn, overall, if you thought about self care and what these women need when they're coming out of these relationships, what are steps that you think, if you had to talk to me today and I just left my abusive relationships and I said, Jackie, I lost myself in this relationship. What can I do to get myself back? How can I work on my self care? What are the steps and the things you think that I need?
Well, some of the most obvious answers, obviously, as I said, I turned to fitness. Um, so definitely working out can be one of those. Um, I also picked up habits of like doing what's called what we refer to in Herbalife as personal development. So just like listening to the motivational video, listening to audios, listening to books, listening to different things, taking some time out, to do things like take care of like doing some massages or maybe some manicures, maybe some pedicures, maybe getting yourself a new do, dyeing your hair red, right? Or whatever color, purple, whatever color it is that you're into. Um, Taking a trip, right? Like I am still like blown away when I have conversations with people who say, "Oh no, I've never left Philadelphia." Right? Just like, rent a cabin or something, go up to the Poconos or something and do something for yourself that way. Pick up a new hobby. You could pick up a new hobby. You can definitely, if you're not, active in a church, become a member of a church. I definitely should have said one of those things, first. But I think those are some of the more obvious answers. Um, Picking yourself up flowers, right?
Yeah, that's
Like
all.
it may sound cheesy, right? Buying yourself a new outfit, a new pair of shoes, right? Picking up some new furniture, candles. Like there's so many different things that you can do to show yourself love, because at the end of the day, it starts there. It starts there. Oftentimes we deal with the abuse because we think we don't deserve better, we don't deserve more, right? I mean, I know I can say that for myself. I at the time did not know my value. I at the time did not know my worth, right? Obviously that has changed. Like I get who I am. But those are just some of the ideas that I have. If you guys have any ideas, drop them in the comments. Give us some ideas. Throw some ideas my way. Obviously, I don't know it all. There may be something that but I love first time experiences too, right? Like painting with a twist and um, going hiking, right? Never gone hiking before. I still remember the first time I went on like my first real hike, just like really climbing, and like it's so much, there's so much therapy there. But just to name a few of the things that I would do.
Norma said, learning to love yourself again and praying. I
Right,
think, yeah, I think that's a big thing because we stop loving ourselves
right,
because we kind of succumb to what it is that we're dealing with, and we like totally lose track of who we are as a
right,
person. Um,
right,
and I say that all the time because I said it in the film. I didn't love myself. I
right,
didn't. When I looked in the mirror, I did not like who Christina was. I didn't find her beautiful. I didn't find her pretty, and everything that he had said, like he knew what flaws to point out in me. So he'd talk about my teeth. So when I look in the mirror, that's the first thing I would look at. Oh my God, my teeth are bad. He would talk about my hair or how I looked physically, and that's all I saw when I looked in the mirror. So even if 1,000 people said, "You look great tonight," if I went somewhere, in my mind, I was like, I know they're just being nice. So I think loving yourself is definitely a huge thing, especially after abuse. Like we have to remember who we are as a person. We have to, one huge thing you said, affirmations. Women think
mm-hmm,
it's corny, but I've seen it in movies, and I swear that like we need to all start doing it. Get yourself a pack of post-its and take them post-its and put it on your mirror, and every morning see them. And on your mirror put, you are beautiful. You are gorgeous. You are strong. You are phenomenal. You are amazing. And remind yourself every day that you are not any of the things that he said. You were totally opposite of that. Positive
right,
affirmations are an amazing thing. I'm telling you, take them. I'm about to start posting them all over my wall so that when I
yeah,
wake up, I
yeah,
see them because that's super important for us to have self care. Vanessa said it is also good to be that support for others. Let's build our sisters up because we may never know if someone is breaking them down.
yep,
That's definitely
absolutely,
major. That's
yeah.
something that we say all the time, that during our abuse, people didn't know that we were going through our abuse. And there's like I saw a few memes like throughout life in general, and they all pretty much say the same thing, but something like put a smile because you don't know how
Who
that
may need
smile,
it?
who may need it type of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely. And that's exactly like what she's trying to say. Like, we have no idea. One in every 10 women that you meet are dealing with domestic violence. And those are the statistics. That's what's out there. So, in a crowd of 10 women, all of you may be smiling, but one of them may be definitely going through something. They may leave you from a night of partying to enter a home where the man is waiting to hit her.
right,
Or opposite, the male is going home to a woman that's going to hit him or put him
right,
down, tell him that he's worthless. So it's
right,
something that we need to do as well for self-care of each other, looking out
right,
for each other as women and men, and just in general, just seeing and saying, I'm gonna put a smile on my face because I don't know who it's going to affect today.
exactly. Yeah.
You got
Affirmations are really huge for the red carpet family. We if you follow any of us, we say them. We used to write them, but I think there's so much power in reading them out loud. So if you do the sticky notes, Christina, read them. Like read them to yourself. You may think you sound crazy, and if somebody was walking by and they heard you screaming like that, like the way I be screaming sometimes, it may be true. But I love to hear myself say, I'm a household name in Northeast Philadelphia, right? I'm this, I'm that. I'm a queen. I'm a rock star, Latina, dancing her way through life. Like, I love that because I've gotten to a point in my life where I really believe the things that I affirm, right? Like there's so much power in affirmations. So that if you take nothing else from the show, the affirmations, please do the affirmations. And if you follow me on social media, you'll hear me saying them on my story all every day.
she brings you some energy.
So much fun. So much fun.
You are fun. We are almost 50 minutes in. Time
Wow.
flies when you're having fun. So I have a question. What are things women can do if they cannot afford a gym membership or meal plans? What can they do at home?
I think I hope there's tons of things that you could do, right? There's YouTube and there's just so many different resources and different things online that we could do. Um, but I think that walking is very undervalued.
Yeah, it is.
I love going for a walk, like just going for a walk. There's a place back here called Lardner's Point right behind the house,
Mhm.
in Northeast Philadelphia. Again, I'm sure you could dig up like stuff that is more local to you if you're not in the Northeast. But just going for a walk, like really committing to 1 mile every single day.
Mhm.
right? Even if it's by yourself, especially if it's by yourself, just like maybe listening to your audio while you're doing that, saying your affirmations out loud, right? Depending on where you're going. Again, you don't want to be out here screaming your affirmations, looking crazy. But like, there's so much power in going for a walk. Like, it's so underrated. And it is a form of self care. And yes, it releases a lot of stress.
Mhm.
So I'm a big, 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 big advocate for walking, right? Just going for a walk. And like I said on YouTube, right? They have yogas, they have different crafts, different things that you could do. You can meditate. You can again listen to a good book, listen to a good audio. There's so many resources online. But for me, I'm gonna have to go with, if I have one choice, I'm gonna have to go with walking. Like, walking for me is a biggie.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
actually was talking about stress. When this entire pandemic started and we couldn't do anything, that's all my daughter and I did. And starting out with just walking turned into us working out in the basement every day. And my daughter made an entire transformation. She
Right.
went from January weighing one weight, and then now here we are in October, and my daughter she looks like a totally different person.
Totally different person.
Totally different person. She lost close to 70, 80 pounds.
Wow.
And this began with just saying, Mom, if we have to be stuck, can we at least walk? And
Mm.
when they allowed everyone to go out, it was like, let's go. And we still walk 3 miles a day. We go and we walk. We walk from home all the way to the closest high school, around and back every day, 3 miles. The only days we don't is Tuesdays because I have the show, so I have to get ready. But we go
Oh,
every single day. We walk, and it's definitely therapeutic. I'd say that me and my daughter have always been close, but it has definitely brought us closer. We talk about everything under the sun. She tells
that's
me how
dope.
she feels about school, how she feels about me, how, if we have an argument, once we walk, we talk about it. Like, I was really upset when you said this to me, or I didn't like the way that you approached
Mm.
me about this. If she says something to me saying, well, Lena, I didn't like the way you did this or you did that. So walking has been like a bonding experience for my daughter and myself.
Right.
It's helped with our self-care, and it's helped with our health in general.
Right.
She
Right.
looks phenomenal. Like, anybody that sees her now and hasn't seen her since last year is like, who's that little girl? And I'm like, my daughter. And they're like, that's
Yeah.
the same kid.
That's
She looks,
Selena.
yeah, she looks like
She
a
does
totally
look amazing.
she looks good. So walking, yes, is something that's awesome. Norma Datir says he would break me down verbally and mentally. That was the worst because I was a confident woman and he knew that and couldn't handle that.
Mm.
Unfortunately, I think that that's all of our cases when in these
Yeah.
situations. They break you down and they know exactly what it is to say at that time to kind of
Yeah.
loop you into their negative thoughts. So that's kind of wrapping it into what I want you guys to hear from us tonight about self-care. Our hours always go by really quickly. Norma, thank you for that comment. Next week, we are focusing on mental abuse, verbal and emotional abuse.
Mm.
I think it's super important that we discuss that. When we're
Yeah.
on next week, we're going to talk about why it's super important to recognize the signs of mental, verbal, and emotional abuse. I think we should all tune in so that we can watch, because there's too many people that even surround me who I love that I know are definitely going through those types of abuse and do not realize or acknowledge them as domestic
Mm.
violence. And I think it's something that we need to do. Um, before we exercise is one of the greatest things you can do in support of yourself and your mental health. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Lisette is giving me affirmation about next week's show. Before we go, I just want to remember that we have to highlight a few things. Again, Jackie, I want you to let us know about your red carpet. I'm gonna, you know, show these people. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at that
Look
face.
at that. Look at that. Look at me with my radio, with my little boom box.
It's
Guys,
so funny.
red
So
carpet is at 3267 Cotman Avenue. It's right at the corner of Cotman and ooh, Cotman and what?
I don't know. It's
Roland. Cotman and Roland. Whew, I don't
so
even know where
funny.
we at.
Come out and visit her. Her place is amazing. I love it there, and they is so laid back and cool. And look at this other beautiful picture outside of Fox Chase Nutrition.
That's
Where is
at
Fox
Fox
Chase Nutrition?
Chase.
Where is that
That is
located?
that's located at 334 Looney Loney Street in Fox Chase, Philadelphia.
Awesome.
On IG is Fox Chase Nutrition Club. is at Fox Chase Nutrition Club, and then for red carpet is add red carpet underscore nutrition. Red carpet, like the red carpet, right? You want to stand on the red carpet looking all fly, right? That's what red carpet is for.
Awesome. And you guys have classes, you have shakes, you have everything that you would need to get your physical health together.
Everything. And it's funny that you're having this and you're talking about self-care. One of the decisions that I just made for the red carpet location is to be closed on Sundays. To have that be the family day, have that be the off day, have that be the laundry day, the meal prep day, have that be the day that we like that I focus on Jackie, right? And set Jackie powerfully up for the week. So we're still open at Fox Chase, but red carpet is no longer open on Sundays.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. And listen,
Um,
if you guys are watching, when we do our 5K, Jackie and her Goon Squad are going to make sure that we stretch and we work out prior to the race.
my school's bus.
I love calling them that. It's so funny. So
That's
there's the
okay.
flyer for our 5K. If you haven't signed up, go tonight. www.loveshouldnothurt.com. Register for our 5K. You can walk, you can jog, you can run, ride a bike, whatever you want. We are going to be running, walking, jogging at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and 3 p.m. We are doing this so that we can minimize the crowd for social distancing. As soon as you arrive, when you receive your goodie bag, there will be a mask that you must wear for the entire race. When you are done when you are done the race, we'll invite you to our photo booth by Mob Photography so that you can have a photo taken if you'd like. And then you have to exit the parking lot. Throughout the time, Paulie will be there, the Philly Rican, who will be giving us music to keep us going on. If everybody's wondering where, we are going to be at 6301 North 2nd Street. That is Aspira's campus. Aspira is our location for our run. And there's a big thank you there because Aspira has been one of our biggest supporters. You see me now? They have been one of our, move over, Jackie. There you go. They've been one of our biggest supporters as of yet. We have shown our films at Aspira. We made our film at Aspira.
Yes.
And they are so graciously allowing Aspira's 6301 campus location to be our site for our 5K. So if you've been there, their north parking lot is ginormous. It's like a football field. That's where we will be having our 5K. It will be inside of the parking lot. It is huge. No worries. We will make this 5K.
This is fun.
You don't know which way you're going, right? Right there, Aspida, Aspida, Aspida. We want to thank them for just being so helpful and beneficial and just helping us with Love Shouldn't Hurt from day
Right.
one. They are our biggest supporters, and we are appreciative of them for having us at this location. So if you know where the former Cardinal Doherty is in the Alany section, that is where our 5K is taking place in their ginormous parking lot. We're all going to stay in the parking lot so that you can hear Paulie's music and, we can kind of get through the race. But like I said, go to our website, www.loveshouldnothurt.com. Register. It is $25. You will receive your bib. You will receive mask, your hand sanitizer, all types of goodies. The first 50 people will get the 5K medals. Listen, start registering, people. We're only 2 weeks away from this. Again, when you go to the site, you click on the flyer on the website. It will take you to the sign up registration site. You can choose 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or 3 o'clock so that you can do this walk. Join us, join us, join us for our very first 5K. Listen, like we said at the beginning, that's how I started my journey. She told me, we are having a domestic violence 5K. Why don't you come? And I did it. And when I crossed that finish line, I felt vindicated. So for all you fierras out there, you sheros who feel like you need something to make you feel vindicated, she's sick. Get there. You can bring your kids. You can register your kids. Come, bring them in strollers, whatever it is. If you want to feel good, listen, we are all there. We're all sheroes. We're doing this together. You'll feel so great once you cross that finish line. We'll have people there cheering you on to make it across. Come out, register, come, come, come.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Jackie, thank you so much for joining us. We love you. I'll have to have you back because you love it and you're spoiled by it. Any last words for our viewers? Look at that, my hair.
No, if there's anyone that's watching that's really dealing with the abuse, any level of abuse, reach out. We promise, no judgment, right? No pointing fingers, no, we promise to just give you the love and the support that you need. So, you can reach out to Christina Vega on Facebook. Love Shouldn't Hurt on Facebook, Love Shouldn't Hurt on Instagram. There's just so many ways, and I'm Chef Jackie on Instagram. But just talk to someone, and if it's not us, have someone to talk to, and know that you can make it out. That there is a life after domestic violence. There is. That's
Definitely.
all I gotta say.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. As always, I will put that back up. 1-800-799-7233 is the number for the National Domestic Violence Hotline. If you feel as though you're around the abuser and you cannot speak, know that they can chat and text as well. You can reach us on our website, loveshouldnothurt.com. Send us a message there. Facebook, Instagram, as Jackie said. If we do not have the appropriate resources, we will definitely find the folks who can help you.
Let's
Tune
do
in
it.
next week while we'll talk about emotional, verbal, and mental abuse and how it affects everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching. Lisa, thank you, mi amor, for watching. We love you guys as always. God bless you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.